good teams don't just solely rely on their offense or their defense or their special teams. They find ways to win games. And I think a couple of years ago, you could make the case that we saw some good things from the Las Vegas Raiders. We saw them, honestly, they looked like they were going to be able to go out and rely on all three phases and win some games. And they did it. They made it the first round of the playoffs, ended up losing to the eventual Super Bowl participants in the Cincinnati Bengals. We were expecting big things this last year. It didn't happen under Josh McDaniels, and quite honestly, I think there's a plethora of reasons for that. However, I think that if you're going to be a good team in the NFL, if you are going to continue to take steps, you have to find ways to win the game and relying on just more than one facet. This team needs to take a step in all three phases this year. I don't know. Honestly, offensively, if I'm being honest, I'm not really that worried about it for the Raiders. So you talk about having these kind of weapons. I even think that if Aiden O'Connell gets in there and he starts to play well and Jimmy G still isn't available, could we be seeing the next Brock Purdy? I think it's possible. In fact, I think that Aiden O'Connell he obviously impressed a lot of people, did a lot of good things in OTAs and rookie minicamp and all that stuff. So I definitely think the possibility is out there. But if you just look at what the Raiders did as a team, I do not think that there was a lot of things left to be desired. So you talk about the fact this, yes, they were top 12 in scoring, which, hey, good to see. 26th in defense, a lot left to be desired on special teams. And yes, I understand that you can't rely on one area like we have just mentioned. But overall, you relied too much on Josh Jacobs last year. Derek Carr didn't get the job done. Your special teams didn't bail you out when you needed it to. In fact, it was disappointing in some ways, if we're being perfectly honest. But overall, the Las Vegas Raiders, if you're going to be like any good team in the NFL, you need to win games by relying on everyone that's on the squad. And I think the Raiders, this year, I don't know who's going to be the starting quarterback. Josh Jacobs might not even sign his tender, moving forward, or his franchise tag, but overall, it doesn't matter because the Las Vegas Raiders are in a position where you're stacked on offense, your defense has been a disappointment, and your special teams has not helped you win any games in a while. I honestly think that the Raiders need to find a way to play as a team under Josh McDaniels and let the chips fall where they may. If they're not good enough, that's one thing, which I don't think is the excuse here. I think, like we've mentioned, offensively, they're a tough team overall. But defensively, they left a lot to be desired. And I think that if this team is going to be a team, they have to find ways to win the game in a lot of different phases. And I hope / think that's what we're going to see from the Raiders. Because if we look at them, I really don't think we saw the Raiders get any worse. Like, yeah, you want to have a one-on-one replacement for Derek Carr with Jimmy Garoppolo, fine by me. Josh Jacobs is still technically on the squad, so even if he's not here, I'm excited to see what we get from Zamir White. But you still have Devontae Adams. Michael Mayer is probably the biggest steal in the draft that you're ever going to see, and this offensive line finally seems to be coming together. To top it off on defense, Tyree Wilson, I think, is going to impress a lot of people. I think that Robert Spillane is a better overall linebacker than Denzel Perryman, even though Denzel Perryman, he was a loss. I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything here. But overall, the Raiders are in a spot where, as a team, you need to find ways to win games. The excuses are running out. And maybe, honestly, this year, Josh McDaniels isn't that dude, and we start building again next year. But overall, it doesn't matter. Have some pride. Learn how to win games in more than one phase, and just find a way to get the job done. But let us know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and comment down below. That's how people find the show. So we greatly appreciate all of your support. Means more than you guys know. But at the end of the day, let us know what you guys think about the Las Vegas Raiders needing to find ways to win the game.